Trojan fella, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, we got to talk about the national championship. What are your thoughts? What are your initial thoughts after this national championship game, man? I got several thoughts that we want to talk about as it relates to that. Several storylines that were within that game, man. And also, we want to talk about USC losing a recruit, big time quarterback to Georgia yesterday. We want to talk about that. What happened? What took place from all the crystal balls that we've seen. Let's just get into that right now. There were some crystal balls that were put up. You guys know we had a couple of visitors this past weekend. We had the Texas A&M big defensive tackle, Isaiah Rakes. Of course, you guys know we had the Oregon State defensive lineman as well. Then we had the big time quarterback that was coming out of UNLV. You guys know I did a video on him. I was very high on him. Not saying he was just one of the upper echelon type of guys, but I thought he was a guy that could come in and absolutely carry the offense in the event that something were to happen to a guy like Miller, God forbid. And we'll take a look at that because all signs were pointing toward USC getting this kid. And it was just an incredible moment, man. I'm not sure what happened. We'll take a look at this. This was absolutely this was yesterday. You seen Greg Biggins. He put this out about Jaden, 6'4" quarterback out of UNLV. He actually crystal balled him. So it looked like he was going on his way to USC. And crazy and oddly enough, we got crazy reports yesterday. All of a sudden, and then you see here, it was Scott Schrader from Biggins is from 24/7 Sports, and then Scott Schrader is from On3. He put a prediction out yesterday about this kid and said that his prediction is that he's getting ready to commit to USC, and so oddly and crazy enough, well, not commit, but his prediction was that he was committing, leaning toward USC. And so then yesterday we seen On3 that posted a clip of him that he actually committed to Georgia. So the question is, what happened? And listen, let's Trojan fans, let's just keep it real here, man. We've had this to happen time and time again. And, not even just with, the Georgia situation, because really it has nothing to do with Georgia. If you're a quarterback, why wouldn't you want to play under a guy like Lincoln Riley? There's a couple of things that I do know back on the back end of this, and I'll talk about that. But was this NIL? I don't know. I can't just put that information out there. But all signs are pointing to it could be a couple of things. But from what I do understand is there's a guy on staff that is connected in the Las Vegas area. You guys know that Jaden is from the Las Vegas area, and it's a guy that's on the coaching staff that's actually from that area. I think he's Desert Pines. I lived in Vegas for 5 years, so I'm familiar with Desert Pines. I'm familiar with a couple of schools out there. Of course, Bishop Gorman, he went to Liberty, and my little brother actually went to Silverado High School out there, so they played Liberty. They played all those schools, so I'm kind of familiar with those schools. But the thing is that we lost a quarterback that I thought that USC can absolutely have any event, anything would have happened. Because you guys know we only got two guys that are on the roster right now, two scholarship quarterbacks, and it's unbelievable, man. So the question is, what is going to be plan B for USC right now? What are some of the options? I don't know if they bring a guy like Jaden Delora in. He's a very experienced guy. Had I think 4,500 yards, somewhere around there the year before last. Him and Caleb had some phenomenal numbers. His yardage was up there, but his QBR wasn't up there so much, just given the fact that he was kind of a loose cannon, but he will gunsling it, he will move around. But the question is, where does USC go from here? Where do they move from here as it relates to the quarterback position? Because that's kind of a stunner. And as I stated, you had two different guys actually predict that this was supposed getting ready to happen. As it relates to his commitment, man. So that's one thing. Also, now we want to talk about the national championship game, and I'm going to show you guys some stuff. This game was, I don't even know how to explain it, because it looked like Michigan in the beginning was getting ready to run away with this game. And it looked like they were getting ready to just out physical. Then all of a sudden, it seemed like Michigan, it looked like Michigan. It looked like Washington made some adjustments before the half, and they got within 7, and it looked like it's halftime. Now they're getting ready to, continue the adjustments. But then we see some incredible blown calls, and I saw something on Twitter that Cody Kessler put up, and I'll kind of go through that and see some of the things he said. But check this out right here. These were several calls right here that was absolutely crazy. You guys know momentum. When you're talking about momentum as it relates to calls, we've seen several different calls against Washington, whether it's the receiver running the routes, and those calls weren't being made. It just kind of makes you wonder what exactly was taking place. We know this was an ACC crew. You can't put that all on them, but those were some extreme momentum plays that absolutely had Washington lost in the sauce. Now, were they dynamic on offense like they usually do? Absolutely not. And we can give the credit all to Michigan's defense. Michigan defense just had Michael Penix absolutely lost in the sauce. I mean, he looked like, it's amazing because when you get these quarterbacks that have plenty of time to throw it and plenty of time to just kind of air it out, they look like different quarterbacks, man. Michael Penix doesn't look like the Michael Penix that we knew all year long. He looked just completely flabbergasted, lost in the sauce. I mean, it was some wide open throws that he had, and he just overthrew them. Simply due to the pressure. And at some point, you're gonna have that pressure in the NFL, whether you're Michael Penix, whoever you are, whether you're Caleb, whoever you are. And if you don't have that ability to make those same throws, even JJ McCarthy, if you don't have those, he didn't look that good to me. If you don't have that ability to be as effective, I'll say that, be as effective as you are when you're under pressure, nothing's gonna be the same when you're calm and then when you're not under pressure. But you gotta be successful. That's what makes Patrick Mahomes, because he's able to get those balls. He's able to do unorthodox things and be able to be successful and be able to keep the scoring up that he's already had. And that's what you want to do. And I think I would say Caleb is better than Michael Penix in that area because you guys know he'll sidearm some stuff. He'll run around. He'll put the stress on the offensive line, but Caleb will make something out of nothing. He'll be magical. And you can kind of clearly see that Michael Penix doesn't even have the same type of quarterback play, quarterback IQ, finesse that Caleb has. It's a totally different type of thing, man. Caleb is not even in the same category. Michael Penix is not even in the same category as a guy like Caleb Williams. I mean, we could just settle that right now. And you clearly seen that. Even when Caleb was on his bad days, he didn't look like that. I don't know, man. You just kind of seen it, his whole body language with Michael Penix. It just seemed like it was just a rough day, a rough outing from him. But shout out to him. Shout out to Washington. Congratulate you guys for even making it a lot further than what USC did this year. But check this out. This is what Cody Kessler said. Max Brown, a former USC quarterback, he was on the sideline as well. He said some stuff, but here's what Cody Kessler said during the game. He says a couple of missed holding calls on talking about on Michigan. No call for the 12 men on the field against Michigan. Didn't even take a look at the potential targeting. I saw all this during the game, and it was kind of weird because it was like we all saw this during the game, and it looked like those calls were momentum calls because Washington could have possibly tied it up. I think at that point, I can't remember the score at that point, but they could have tied it up, man, easily. And it just seemed like they were absolutely flabbergasted, due to the calls, man, and they got worse and start regressing in the game. So, and of course, some of their players weren't making plays like they normally do. Some of the catch ball missed opportunities, man. So that's my thoughts on the game. Also, real quick, let me show you this real quick. Jim Harbaugh, believe it or not, is in good company. It's only two coaches have been able to accomplish this. One is Pete Carroll, make it to a Super Bowl. Of course, he won a Super Bowl and then win a national championship. But two coaches have actually made it to a Super Bowl. And then won a national championship. Jim Harbaugh falls in that category. You can't give him the Super Bowl credit, but you can give him the category. I saw this stat put out yesterday after the game, and so I just wanted to shout him out and congratulate him, although Pete Carroll went a little further, and that was to win the Super Bowl. So, man, you guys can hit me in the comment section, man. You guys can tell me what you think. And one more thing, I read something as well, is that it's being reported. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. It is being reported about Jim Leonhard possibly joining Coach Prime. Here it is right here. This is Pete Lamel. I'm sorry, this is the wrong one. But anyway, it's being reported that Jim Leonhard may be possibly going with Coach Prime to Colorado. Can you believe that? We'll say that for a whole nother day, man. And that is the most unbelievable thing that I've ever heard. I mean, wow. So he'll go to Colorado, but he won't, whatever. But anyway, I love what USC is doing right now with their staff. It's absolutely moving and grooving. And here's one more thing that I wanted to kind of get at you guys about, and that was this. This is from Pete Tamel yesterday. All of a sudden, this was like 16 minutes in the game, and he says this. Sources tell him this. The CFP, ESPN discussing a new deal that would give ESPN control of college football playoffs rights for the next 8 seasons. Wow. Story with @Heather, CFB Heather, on what the final 2 seasons of the current deal and the next 6 years will look like. Are you kidding me? So now you basically don't give ESPN, which is in bed with the SEC, full rights to the college football playoffs and have decision making. You know, they don't like the fact that, and I'll have to do a whole nother story on this. They don't like the fact that the SEC is not even in there this year, that they completely lost in the sauce. And to have that come out during the game, I mean, what kind of crap is that? I'm going to talk about more about this later, but listen, I'm out of here, man. Listen, everybody stay blessed. Once again, congratulations to the University of Michigan. They're going to be our fellow Big Ten partners, and we'll continue to discuss this throughout the week, what this means for USC, how we need to continue to build this team as it relates to what we saw Washington versus Michigan. We'll talk about all that. So listen, man, I'm out of here, man. Listen, everybody stay blessed. Don't forget, make sure you get up, get out, and make some things happen. Until later on, fight on, fight on, fight on.